Hi YouTube. So today, before I get started, I just want to say real quick that if you like the look that I'm wearing right now, this is for a series I'm doing on Instagram where I'm doing monochromatic makeup, and this is for today obviously purple. And I did not plan this, but I also have purple nails done, and my little neck thing here, my bat from Dead Darling Boutique, is also purple, but that was just a fun little coincidence. Okay, so today I've got a headache, and it's just a normal headache. It's not a migraine, but it made me think that today would be a good day to do a video about how I cured my migraines. I used to have a problem for about I think it's about 2 years, that I had a migraine problem. And there's a huge difference between a headache and a migraine. A headache is obviously painful and irritating, and it can be difficult to get rid of. But with a migraine, on top of that, first of all, the pain is so much more intense. You have sensitivity to light, sensitivity to sound. It feels like your head is literally inside of a vice and it's being squished shut. Like it's so hard to explain how painful it is. It makes sense to me when I hear about, like, back in medieval times, people thought, like, when people would have like migraines, people would think that they were being possessed by a demon or the devil or something like that, because they were just in so much pain and they felt like they were being smashed alive. And I can totally understand why people would have thought that back then. But it's absolutely horrible. It oftentimes made me nauseous. Sometimes I would throw up. And it was completely debilitating. It's not something that you can just like try to power through. I was like, hey, don't do that. So I was not able to read, watch TV, really like listen to music or podcasts or anything like that. I could not get on my phone. My kids had to learn from a very young age to play very quietly, which I'm very proud of them for. Like, honestly, my kids are freaking amazing. I feel so bad sometimes when I think about like how like they had to learn at such a young age how to play super quietly. And I feel like my kids are more mature than most kids their age, because they knew that like if they weren't able to play quietly and watch their shows quietly, that mommy would be in a lot of pain. Mommy would get sick. So of course, I really appreciate that they were able to make those sacrifices for me, but I feel absolutely horrible about it because I didn't want them, especially at such a young age, to have to even think about stuff like that. It was so bad. I mean, it really affected my life. Like I said, I was a dance teacher. I haven't been teaching dance for a little over a year because, you know, I had my baby last year, and so, you know, I took a break and then we moved. So I just haven't been teaching dance for about a year now. But, you know, when I was teaching dance, I would have to call in almost once a month, and it was horrible. I felt so bad. It was like, I could tell that like the people who were employing me were getting annoyed, and understandably, they, you know, they had every right to be annoyed. Hi. See my daughter in the background. Okay, anyway. So, you know, it obviously affected my career, and, you know, it also affected my kids' life, you know. And when we were home, my husband would come home and he would tell me, he's like, look, we gotta get you to a doctor. Like, I know the doctors aren't listening to you, but we need to find a different doctor then, because I come home from work, you know, and it's a beautiful day, and, you know, we come in, and he's like, I come in and it's completely dark. It looks like a cave in here. It's just so dark. And you have everything down so quiet, and it's not fair to the kids. And he was absolutely right. I just felt so bad. And not only that, but like the kids, they would want to go to like the playground, and I was hardly ever taking them to the playground, because if I had a migraine, I could not leave the house. I could not go out and stand the daylight, even with sunglasses on. It was too dark, and the noises outside were too loud. It was like having a disability. Like, I don't want to like step on anybody's toes here or make it bigger than it was, but it felt like a disability at the time. And every time I talked to doctors about it, they didn't listen. They would just say, "Well, just take an Advil and have some coffee, you know, get more sleep." Just like the typical things that doctors always say: lose weight, drink more water, take a Tylenol, you know. And I was doing all that, and still I was just not, I was not living a normal lifestyle. And so it's not something that I would wish on anybody, and it needs to be taken a lot more seriously. Especially, I know, like, women, there's been like a lot of reports with women going to the doctors and they explain pain and stuff like that, and the doctors basically brush them off as like, "Oh, typical weak woman, you just need to learn how to deal with it," you know. But women, we're not weak, we are very strong, you know. We really take pain in stride. But you know, if you have a migraine or if you're experiencing any kind of pain, find a doctor. If you can, find a doctor who will take your needs seriously. I had to learn how to deal with these migraines completely on my own. I'm sorry, that was like the longest intro ever. But I'm gonna just go straight into what you came here for and explain to you what I did. Well, I had to do a lot of research. I had to talk to a lot of people who had suffered from the same thing to get rid of my migraines. I think I have a wealth of knowledge on it at this point. So, of course, drinking plenty of water helps prevent it. And that's always good for your health anyway. Of course, keep doing that. When the doctor says to have coffee, caffeinated coffee or caffeinated tea, whatever, a caffeinated drink, and Tylenol and ibuprofen, do that. Those are also good methods, especially they'll help you keep you from having headaches. Okay, so that's also good advice. But that's not enough when you have migraines, okay? So that's just a starter. That's just what you need to lay down and see what you know, if that'll help. What else you need to do is you do need to keep the lighting dim whenever you have a migraine, and you do need to keep the noise to a minimum. Okay, so there's other things that you can do for your health, of course. Eating healthy, you know, getting exercise and getting plenty of sleep, of course. But I have some other tips. One is to get a foot bath. You're going to want to fill it up with hot water. You want to be able to make sure you can fill it up with water as hot as you can stand it to put your feet in. And then at the same time, what you want to do is put ice on your head. Okay, so you're going to want to invest in a foot bath, and you want to get a ice pack that is meant for the head, and that might be about $30, about $30 each. Okay, so $60, that might sound like a lot to drop, but trust me, that is going to save your sanity, and it's seriously going to be worth it, more than worth it. Okay, so hot water on your feet, while at the same time cold water, ice pack on your head. Another thing you want to do is, you know, if you think that your headaches or migraines could be caused by tension, you're going to want to try to put something hot on your neck. Right now, the headache that I have, I can tell is a tension headache because of the way I slept last night. So I have my heat pack / cold pack from Dead Darling Boutique that I had talked about in another video. My bat, see, it's like meant for this sort of thing. I put it in the microwave. It's filled with rice and lavender, so it's very soothing, and it really helps with like, if you've got a tension headache, this will really help it go away. Massage also helps as well. If you can get one of those little handheld massagers, or even if you take like a tennis ball on the back of your neck and you just like sit against the back of the sofa, like if you don't have somebody else to do it for you, and just kind of like roll it back and forth, that also helps if you have a tension headache. Another thing that I found was a product called Stop Pain. It's a topical analgesic. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but basically it's like in a roller ball, and I found it at Walmart, and you are supposed to put it on the nape of your neck, around the nape of your neck, all the way up to behind each of your ears. And they say not to put it on your forehead, but I did do that, you know, because, you know, I got desperate one day and I started doing that, and that made a huge difference for me. It's just be careful not to get it in your eyes. Just try to put it along the very tips of your hairline. Like I said, it actually says not to do that, but for me personally, it made a huge difference, and it really helped me helped it go away almost instantly. Another product I recommend is by doTERRA. It is called Past Tense. Hey, don't do that, honey. Past Tense. It smells so good, for one, but also it really, really helps. So I would put drops of it in a hot bath and just relax in the hot bath, or sometimes I would put it on my skin. Before you put it on your skin, if you've never done it before, what you're gonna wanna do is do like, sometime when you don't have a migraine, put it on your skin and do like in a small spot to do like a, what's that called, a skin test? I forget what it's called. Anyway, you're just gonna make sure that, you know, that it doesn't irritate your skin. Some people are really sensitive to it, or like any essential oils really. If it really irritates your skin, then try doing a test in a spot test in a different area using a carrier oil. So like putting it in like coconut oil first before you rub it on your skin, so it doesn't sink in so deep, you know. And anyway, if it works out well with your skin, then go ahead and you're gonna want to put that. I used to dot it around my temples, and I would put like a dot underneath my nose so that I would be inhaling it. That really helped. That made a huge difference for me. I highly recommend buying just a giant bottle of that. And then another thing, this is also really important, you could have a deficiency. So your doctor might run tests for you. You might have to ask, are you, if that's not, or if it's like, if it'd be like super expensive for you to do that, you know, and you just want to try it out yourself, to try to check it out yourself, what you could do is check if you have, if you could have an iron, magnesium, or B vitamin deficiency. So first, try eating more foods that have those, that are rich in those vitamins and minerals, and see if that makes a difference. Or you can do what I did, which I did both. I started eating foods that were high in those vitamins and minerals, but I also went to Walmart and I got some supplements. I got iron, magnesium, and B complex. I started taking those every day. I don't remember exactly what the dosage was that I took, but I just read the back and I just followed the directions with that. And that worked within like a day or two. So I know this seems like a lot, but if you do all these things, this will make your migraines be a thing of the past. Once you get rid of them, it's easier to keep them from coming back. Once you get rid of them like for good, it's easier to keep from coming back, and you'll also have less headaches as well. So try all those things out, and if none of that stuff works for you, then you're gonna wanna tell a doctor everything that you've tried, and you're gonna wanna ask for some medical intervention and see what they could do. I did have a friend who was having extremely bad headaches, and she ended up needing a surgery on her skull. She ended up having I believe it's called a Chiari malformation. So she had to have like brain surgery. And then, you know, I've had a friend who, you know, hers was found out it was related to her blood pressure. So, I mean, there's so many things that it could be. So try all those things. And if they don't work, you need to tell a doctor, write it all down, bring it into your doctor and tell them like I've done all of this. There's nothing else that I can do at home. Like some tests need to be ran. Okay, well, I hope that was helpful for you. Please like and comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks, bye.